Jack's pampered girlfriend, threatens to break up for the 99th time. He handed me the divorce papers. Emma, just sign them. It's only to pacify the little one. Once she calms down, we'll remarry. My heart turned cold as I decisively signed the divorce agreement. That night, he brought the young girl home. The girl's pleading voice, like a little rabbit's, echoed throughout the night. I picked up my pre-packed luggage and turned to leave. Seeing that I wasn't jealous, Jack hurried after me. I waited silently for him to speak, but he just grabbed my suitcase. Emma, the little girl's dream is to become an award-winning actress. She wants to see the trophies. Bring them out for her to play with. I glanced down at my fingers, which couldn't bend due to injuries from filming. The price of becoming a Triple Crown winner was the pain throughout my body. He knew how important those trophies were to me. He also knew I would definitely take the trophies when I left, yet he deliberately tried to stop me. I smiled bitterly, looking at Lily's face, which bore a 60% resemblance to my younger self. They say a man's loyalty is always to an 18-year-old girl. I wonder how long this girl, who debuted under the name Little Emma, could accompany Jack. I handed her the trophy, sincerely wishing, I heard you're from the same drama school? I hope your dreams come true soon. Seeing my obedient demeanor, he nodded with satisfaction and took the initiative to be nice to me. As long as you take good care of the little girl, I might consider letting you be her supporting actress. I smiled bitterly. Me? Her supporting actress? Does she dare to accept that? Back then, because of Jack's words, I worry about you. Why don't you stop filming and just be Mrs. Lawrence? I announced my retirement at the award ceremony where I won Best Actress. The 10 years I spent in the Lawrence family were my most precious years from 25 to 35, but what he gave me in return was one affair after another. And now he wants me to be a supporting actress for his little girl? I picked up my luggage and turned to leave. At that moment, Jack viciously threw the trophy at me. Crystal shards flew everywhere, cutting my leg and leaving wounds of various sizes. Crimson blood flowed from my leg. He looked at me with cruel eyes, without a trace of pity. Emma, I'm letting you be Lily's supporting actress, and you dare to act proud. Without me, you're nothing. I made one Triple Crown winner, I can make another. You want to leave? Fine. Take off all your clothes. Everything you eat and use, which of it wasn't given to you by the Lawrence family? Lily hid in Jack's arms, trembling and crying with red eyes. Jack, don't fight with Emma because of me. It's all my fault for being delusional, wanting Emma's lead role. I don't want it anymore, okay? Jack pulled the girl close and kissed her heavily, his eyes fixed on me. My leading lady role is only for obedient women. Someone, strip her clothes off. I looked at Jack with red-rimmed eyes. After 10 years of marriage, how could he be so heartless towards me? The housekeeper tried to reason with him. Mr. Lawrence, don't you remember that your wife just had a miscarriage last week? But he became even more irritated. Who asked for your opinion? Strip her. The servants around us looked at me and Jack, hesitating to act. I took off the suit jacket over my silk dress and the red-soled high heels on my feet. The shoes fell to the ground with a dull thud. Is this enough? I turned to leave, but he tore my dress. You have to leave this dress too, including your underwear. I looked at Jack in disbelief. I bought these clothes myself. They have nothing to do with you. He sneered. You bought them. You've been a housewife for 10 years. Where did you get the money? Strip her naked. The servants swarmed over and stripped off my remaining dress. I struggled desperately, but they kicked my stomach hard. Blood flowed from my body. I hugged myself to cover up, biting my lip tightly, as tears fell uncontrollably. He held Lily and looked down at me. See? This is what happens when you don't obey. Lily wrapped her arms around Jack's neck and kissed him. Lily is the most obedient. I'll never make Jack angry, unlike some people who don't know what's good for them. Jack's Adam's apple bobbed, his eyes full of desire. He picked up Lily, and the girl's surprised cries came from inside the room. The housekeeper looked at me with sympathy and took off her coat to cover me. Miss, this is really too much. I buried my face in the coat and finally broke down crying. I never thought that in this home where I had devoted 10 years of my life, the only one who would give me a shred of dignity would be a housekeeper I had known for less than 3 months. Wearing the housekeeper's uniform, I walked barefoot out of the Lawrence mansion. Not far from the door was a parked stretch limo, my ticket to a new life. I hurried my steps towards it, but was forcibly dragged back to the Lawrence house by a group of people. It turned out that Jack and Lily had been playing too roughly. A fallen red candle had ignited the bedsheets, burning the girl's arm. Lily looked at Jack with tears in her eyes, pitiful and delicate. Jack, my arm is burned. How can I be the leading lady now? You have to think of something. I stared at the dense red marks on Lily's body, and the scattered dog leash, whip, and red candles on the floor. So this was what the usually calm and controlled Jack liked in private. I smiled bitterly, my heart aching. Lily noticed my gaze, and whether intentionally or not, twisted her body. A rabbit tail fell from the bed. She covered her mouth apologetically. I'm sorry, Jack really likes little rabbits. I found this farce utterly boring and checked my watch. Jack, did you drag me back just to watch this show? I have urgent matters to attend to. I don't have time to play house with you. Jack angrily grabbed my hand, his face arrogant. I brought you back to borrow your skin for Lily to use. I stared at Jack in disbelief. Do you know what you're saying? What right do you have to harm my body? Jack bent down, his eyes full of cruelty. You're just a dog I raised. How dare you talk about rights? Lily's body is delicate and can't be marked. We can only use your skin. Dr. Yang, proceed. A group of people rushed over to hold down my hands. I struggled desperately. No, but the needle mercilessly pierced my skin, and I gradually lost consciousness. When I opened my eyes again, everything was white. The smell of disinfectant stung my nose. Excruciating pain came from my arm, and fresh blood seeped through the white bandage. I let out a hiss of pain. Hearing my movement, Jack looked up from behind his laptop. He pushed up his gold-rimmed glasses. You're awake. Feeling better? I hired the best plastic surgeon to do the skin graft for you too. Rest well for a few days, and you'll be able to leave the hospital soon. I struggled to pick up the water glass on the table and threw it at him. Who gave you permission to touch my body? But he didn't get angry. Instead, he held my hand and gently coaxed me. All right. I went too far this time, but I invested $100 million in her movie and signed a $1 billion performance bond. I couldn't let her face be ruined, or I'd lose big. If you're upset, how about we remarry next month? Just then, a nurse rushed in. Miss Lynn has woken up and is causing a scene in her room. Mr. Lawrence, she's asking for you. Jack impatiently replied, there are so many doctors here. What use is it to find me? He sent the nurse away and continued to comfort me softly. We only signed divorce papers. We haven't gotten the official certificate, so it doesn't count. We've been husband and wife for so long. Why play this running away game? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? If you don't like living with Lily, I'll arrange another house for you. How about that? How ridiculous. Since when did the mistress move in, and the original wife had to hide outside? I coldly withdrew my hand. No need. We will never have anything to do with each other again in this life. Just then, the nurse rushed in again. It's bad. Miss Lynn has gone to the rooftop. Jack anxiously wanted to run to the rooftop, but was also worried about me, so he insisted on pushing me along. The young girl stood on the edge of the rooftop. As the wind blew, her body swayed precariously. She cried, her tears falling like petals. I heard everything. You didn't really want a divorce. You were lying to me, but I'm already pregnant. How could you do this to me? I can't let my child be born out of wedlock. If you won't get a divorce certificate and marry me, I'll jump right now. I had never seen Jack so flustered and dismayed. He approached the girl with red eyes, step by step. Lily, come down. You and our child are my treasures. I'll give you anything you want. If I'm lying, may I die a terrible death. Jack swore with his hand raised, his words sincere, putting on quite a show of deep affection. I glanced at the sunlight in the sky, which made my tears flow. So love doesn't disappear, it just transfers. The girl who had been threatening suicide moments ago heard these words and leaped into Jack's arms with open arms. He held Lily tightly, as if embracing the moon of his heart. We'll divorce immediately. We'll go get the certificate tomorrow. I'll give you anything as long as you're happy. Watching this scene, my eyes reddened slightly. Her child was a treasure, so what was my child? A week ago, I had just been diagnosed as pregnant. Jack was in a hurry to leave for the young girl's birthday. I tried to stop him, but he pushed me down the stairs. When I woke up, the baby was gone. He showed no remorse. So weak and fragile, how could it be worthy of being my child? It's gone. So what? It was just a cell. We can have another one. But now he treasured Lily's child so dearly. I wiped away my tears and silently left. Jack spent the night in the neighboring hospital room with Lily. The passing nurses pointed at their closed door, blushing and exchanging knowing looks. I watched all this coldly, silently retrieving my confiscated phone from Jack's abandoned bag. There were multiple missed calls, all from my best friend and confidant Sophie. Back then, we had left the dance troupe together to venture into the entertainment industry. She became a small-time director, while I became a small-time actress. She had heard about Jack's outrageous behavior and enthusiastically invited me to Cannes to film her new movie. We had agreed to meet yesterday, but unfortunately, I was delayed by Jack. I called her back. I ran into some trouble and was delayed. Tomorrow afternoon, wait for me outside the Civil Affairs Bureau. Congratulate me on being single again. Sophie's excited voice came from the other end of the phone. Really? You're finally willing to divorce? That's fantastic. The next day, to please the young girl, Jack took Lily and me to get our divorce certificate. As soon as the red divorce certificate was in my hand, he rushed off with Lily to get their marriage certificate. Sophie, wearing sunglasses, was leaning against a stretch limo. As soon as she saw me, she gave me a big hug. My leading lady, I finally got you. Come on, let's go catch some stars. I was about to board the plane with Sophie. Meanwhile, Jack was holding a press conference for his new movie with Lily. At the conference, a reporter asked, Mr. Lawrence, there are rumors that your relationship with your wife has changed. Miss Emma has already gone to Cannes with director Sophie to film a new movie. Is this related to your marital problems? Hearing this, Jack angrily swatted away the reporter's microphone. Which media are you from? I don't answer questions about my private life. Please focus on the new movie produced by Lawrence Entertainment. After the press conference, Jack couldn't help but dial that familiar phone number. But it kept showing. The number you have dialed is busy. Jack clenched his fist, wanting to smash his phone. A gossip account posted photos of me smiling and whispering with Sophie before boarding the plane. Jack looked at the woman in the photo again and again, wondering in his heart, was Emma always so fond of smiling? Then why did she always have a bitter expression when she was with me? Just then, sirens sounded outside the banquet hall.